another unboxing video. This one is for the next colour trend from Tonic for 2019, and this is the Merry and Bright colour trend. Although it's marketed as Merry and Bright, so it's like Christmas theme, don't think you have to just use it all for Christmas cards. I've got some samples that I'll show at the end of the video, and I've done a few sort of everyday cards and a few Christmas cards too, just to show you that you don't have to just use it for Christmas. Unlike any of the other colour themes that have come out, you could use them for Christmas if you wanted to. You don't have to just use them for every day as well. But yeah, so let's get on to going through everything that you get. I am missing a few little bits, but I'll tell you what they are as we go through them. So I'm going to move this to the side. And let's start with the embellishment mousse. So we get 2 embellishment mousses in this one. And again, this colour trend, there's no new products. It's just all new colours of the same products that Tonic have been bringing out for like the last few years. So there's no actual new type of product. They're all just brand new colours that all go together in this gorgeous colour trend. And the Merry and Bright colour trend is sort of a pinky red, a turquoise, and then a sort of silvery grey kind of colour as well. But they go really nicely together, and you get lots of different shades of the same colour. So here, this one looks really light compared to the actual colour trend, but it's really nice having darker versions and lighter versions of the same kind of colours that all go really nicely together as well. So the first 2 are the embellishment mousses, and the 2 colours are called Honeydew, which is that really gorgeous soft colour. I'll open the pot in a second. And we have the Fusion Red as well. I think when I was doing my cards, I've managed to use every single thing that I've got here as well. So you should be able to see them all in person and in use in cards as well. But this is the gorgeous Honeydew colour. Really, really pretty. It is like a honeydew melon inside, you know, inside a honeydew melon. It's that kind of light greeny yellowy sort of a colour. It's really pretty. Then we have the Fusion Red, which is a really lovely red. I don't think I have a red in embellishment mousses other than the expanding mousse one, the red leather, but it's a really lovely vibrant red, and it is perfect for Christmas cards really, this one. Really, really pretty. Then, as well as embellishment mousses, we get 2 new mica mists as well. And so you can see here, you've got the same colours, but they're different tones that go throughout the whole collection, so everything works really nicely. This one is really gorgeous actually. I really enjoyed using this one. It's called Beryl Swirl, and if I shake it up, hopefully you'll be able to see the mica moving around in there. You can just see bubbles at the moment. I don't think it really catches it on camera. You can't really see the mica moving on camera, which is annoying, but you can see that gorgeous colour, and I'll show you samples with it as well. And then we have the red one, which is called Crimson Velvet, and you might be able to see that one better. Ooh, look, you can see the clump of mica at the bottom. So when you're using mica mists, you want to shake up all of the mica into the rest of the solution, otherwise you don't get that mica-y look. And you want to sort of try and, you can hear a ball bearing inside, and you want to try and shake it more side to side rather than up and down. But you just, if you swirl it in a circle as well, it kind of gets all of the mica into the solution. You might be able to see the mica. Oh, it doesn't really work. It's really difficult to show on camera because the bit you want to look at is where it's all against the bottle, but I have to hold it up to you where it's all coming away from the bottle. But in real life you can really see that gorgeous mica moving around within the solution. So those are the 2 mica mists, and I think I've said this in the other 2 videos when we've had mica mist as well. Their nozzles can get clogged really easily, but if you do what I'm about to say every single time you finish using them for that day, they do not get clogged, because only 2 of mine have clogged out of all the ones that they've brought out so far. Because so what you do is you finish using them for the day, and you take this one, actually I haven't sprayed out of it yet, but you take the sprayer out of the bottle and then just hold it in a little pot of water and keep spraying in your sink until, I've made a mess now, until the water is spraying out clear and not the red colour or the green colour. And then once that's happened, you put the sprayer back into the bottle, and then that means that the whole sprayer is now full of water rather than full of something that can separate back out into the liquid and the solid that's inside it. And I think that's why it gets clogged, because you think, oh well, it's all in solution, but when it's up in the sprayer, if the solution comes back down but some of the powder has stayed at the top, as soon as you press it to get more liquid up the uptake tube again the next time you use it, that mica is going to cause a blockage up there. So if you just make sure you take the sprayer out and wash them every time you finish for the day. Don't feel like you have to do it like you've sprayed for one card, then you've got to go and wash it out and then spray for the next card. You can do it just at the end of the day. But only some of my original ones have blocked. All of the ones we've had in the colour trends, none of mine have blocked because I've been properly sticking to washing them out. And so if you do that, they don't get blocked. But I know it's a little bit annoying, but that's the way to not get them to be blocked. But if you do have blocked ones, all you do is just get another spray bottle, like any other spray bottle that you have, tip some of it into there, obviously shake it up properly, tip a little bit into there, use it from that bottle, and then you could store it in that bottle, but I just tip it back into the main bottle and wash that other bottle out, so you know that that one's not going to get clogged as well. But yeah, I do really like using the mica sprays. It is a little bit annoying that you have to do that for cleaning them, but I think it's really worth it from the effects that you get. It's worth washing them out and trying to keep them unclogged so that you can spray them. But yeah, so they're the mica mists, and I'm just going to work that up because I made a mess. I might zoom you in a bit closer as well because you're quite far away. Then we also get a Glimmer Paste. This one is a stunning colour. It is called Esmeralda Green, and it's sort of a turquoisey green. It reminds me of like mermaids and stuff, this colour. And actually, I've got it here. This was the Mermaid Parade glitter that we got in the Dream in Colour collection, and to me that looks like it's a very similar glittery colour, so I reckon they'll go really nicely together. And I'll show you this one that I've already done a smear of it on here. Look how pretty that colour is. It's really gorgeous. And I've been doing these because one of the cards that I'll show you, I actually, one sec, I've got the heart here. I actually die cut it. I did a splodge like that and then die cut it. So this is the look of it once it's all dried. On that side, that's the top side where all the glitter's there. And on the back where all the sort of more of the glue has sort of stayed, so it's smooth. You get that kind of a look, so you can use it either side, and it works really nicely on acetate as well, especially stenciling on acetate looks really lovely with Glimmer Pastes. So that is the Glimmer Paste, and with that one, as I've given you a tip on the mica mists, I would say try to keep this foil on the pot if you can. Also, when you're using it, you know when you've got some left on your palette knife and you scrape it off and you sort of leave it near the top of the lid, I'd say try and push it down, further down the pot, because if it's all sort of together further down, I just find it doesn't dry out as much. If you've left a clump of it near the top of the lid where more air could get in, I find that that would go harder than the rest of the pot. And also, it dries really hard, this, because you can use it on plastic like acetate, and you can use it on glass and things as well, and you can even use it on fabric, I'm sure, too. But because of that, it obviously needs to dry really rock solid so that it will stay on those products. So it dries really hard on your stencils, so make sure you go and wash your stencils as soon as you've finished using that stencil with the Glimmer Paste. And I suggest, or what I do is I have one of those A4 sort of boxes, and I just put a bit of water in it, and then I take an old toothbrush and scrub over the stencil to try and get the glitter out from all the little intricate areas of a stencil. So that's my tips for the Nuvo Glimmer Paste. Then we also get another shimmer powder. This one is called Lunar Rocket. It's really subtle, this one as well. The label makes it look like more pigmented maybe, but I found that it's a really nice subtle colour, I'll just get 2 examples that I've done. But you can see in the bottle it kind of looks like it's going to be brown, but it really does have all those colours in it. So I did 2 different backgrounds. This one is tapping the powder on first and then spraying the water, which does give a really, really subtle look. And I almost thought when it was sitting there drying, it kind of looks like marble. The way it has all those different colours in it and the sort of sparse pattern and the really diffusedness of it, it really looked like marble to me. And then I decided to do a heavier one to see how deep of a colour you could get, and that was adding quite a lot of powder, but it still gives a reasonably subtle design. I did dab it with some kitchen roll to get that texture in it, but yeah, I just wanted to show you the difference between using hardly any and using more of it. And you can see that it's sort of got the silver mica in it, and then it has reds and blues and blacks and a little bit of yellow in it as well for the colours. So I just wanted to show you that. But I reckon actually, or maybe I should try this. At the end, I want to try it on dark card, and I'll also try tipping some out and mixing it up, because it might give a more uniform silver colour if we do that as well. So that's the shimmer powder, which is called Lunar Rocket. Then we also have embossing powder. You do get 2 embossing powders that are coming out in this collection. I've only got one of them. This one is the Sportscar red, but it's a really pretty red colour, and I'll show you a card later on where I've used that. It just dries glossy. It doesn't have a pearly finish to this one. But the other one is called Turquoise Lagoon, and I'm presuming that might be a metallic turquoise, because it looks a similar colour to the Ocean Sparkle one that came out in the Dream in Colour collection, but it's not got a sparkle in it, so I'm presuming it's maybe a more of a metallic finish. But the Sportscar red is a gloss red finish, but it's a really lovely red, and obviously is perfect for Christmas. Then we get 4 new confettis, glitters and sequins that go with the colour scheme, and we have 2 with each of the 2 main colours of the colour scheme, which is really nice. So first of all, we get Mermaid Parade stars, which you might just remember me saying Mermaid Parade. So the Mermaid Parade glitter we got in Dream in Colour. We now have the star sequin confetti that goes along with it, so they're really pretty. They've got all the same colours in as the glitter. I really love this colour, this sort of turquoise colour. The original turquoise stars from one of the original sets has been one of my favourites, but I think now the Mermaid Parade ones are going to take over. Then in the other 2 colour trends that have come out, we had Silver Rain and Champagne Shine sequins, and the new thing that they're doing is putting the 3 different sizes in the same bottle. So now we have Tropical Oasis sequins, and we have the 3 different sizes in the same bottle, which is brilliant. I really love that we're getting 3 different sizes in them now. And they are a stunning colour as well, really, really pretty. I've used them on a card too, so I'll show you that at the end. Then we get a glitter. This one is called Strawberry Sorbet, and it is a really lovely red. It's very, I don't want to say matte because it still sparkles, but compared to other red glitters, it seems to have some sort of less of a sparkle maybe than other red glitters that you get, but it's really nice. And I've just used it sprinkled into the red embellishment mousse. I haven't actually used it solid onto a piece of double-sided or anything yet, so maybe I'll try that at the end too. So I will put that to one side with the shimmer powder to remind me. Then the last one is another one of the confettis, and this is the same size as the gorgeous Sweet Peach circle confetti we got in Dream in Colour, but this one is called Fiery Phoenix, and they are stunning as well. And I've used that pressing it into the embellishment mousse, and I think I did that on one of the cards. Yeah, I dropped it into a Nuvo drop to make the centre of a flower as well, so I'll show you that at the end. But look how pretty it is. They're red, but they've got that like gold iridescent-y kind of a finish when you get it in a certain light. They're really pretty. So Okay, then we also have 4 more Nuvo drop editions. We get 2 sparkly ones, a gloss one, and one of the jewel drops, which are translucent as well. This jewel drop is really gorgeous colour. It's called Aqua Plains, and it goes really nicely with the Tropical Oasis sequins. I've used it in the centre of them on one of my cards, and it looks like perfect coordination of colours. And I've also done a card showing you all 4 drops on the same card, so I'll show you that as well. But it's a really gorgeous colour. I don't think I have the blue one. Oh no, I do. There it is. This is the blue one that was originally in the jewel drop, so you can see it's definitely more of a turquoisey colour. It's very similar to the Calming Aqua colour that came out with the Dreaming colour trend, but obviously it's a translucent version, so it's really gorgeous colour. Then sparkly wise, we have this glitter drop which is called Silver Crystals, which is kind of like the White Blizzard, but it has less interference colours in the glitter. The White Blizzard has quite a lot of pink and green that you can see in it, but this is really subtle interference colours, and again I'll show you it on that card later. Then the other glitter one is called Red Sunstone, and this one, it's, I suppose with all the glitter drops, they're sort of more of a clear drop just with the coloured glitter in, but it's kind of got the same coloured glitter as this one, but with a red in it as well. And it looks really pretty. And then we have the gloss drop, which is called Blushing Red, and it's a really gorgeous sort of orangey red or peachy red. It would go perfectly with Abandoned Coral Distress Ink or Distress Oxide, and it's sort of like kind of a flamingo colour, which is really lovely. Then a couple more of the things I haven't got are the ink pads, which is obviously called the Merry and Bright selection of ink pads, that have a reddy colour, a turquoisey colour and a grey, really light grey colour. And then there is also I'm just looking at my phone, there is also a Nuvo glitter marker that comes individually packaged like the apricot one that came in Dreaming colour, but this one is called Fired Brick. And then I also have, that comes out in this collection, the Emerald Seas Nuvo alcohol markers. They are some really gorgeous colours, and they actually, I think they do, yeah, they slot in between the Aquamarine colour range that came out in 2018, which is one of my favourite turquoisey colour ranges to use. So this one is slightly lighter than the lightest in that. That one fits between 2 of them, and that fits between the other 2. So, but they're a really gorgeous, like almost minty kind of colour tone, and again I've used them on a card, so you'll see that in a minute. And then we have the Merry and Bright Aqua Flows as well, and the colours are Grenadine Red, Tomato Juice and Empress Teal. That teal is really pretty, and these 2 are really gorgeous together. The Tomato Juice is more of an orangey red colour, and then this is a really bright red as well, which is really pretty, and they blend really nicely together. And also I was using them in conjunction with the Crimson Velvet Mica Mist, and they work really nicely with that too. So that is all of the Dreaming colour. So I'm just gonna, if I put these away, but I will show you what I was going to show you with the glitter and the shimmer powder as well. I haven't got a piece of black card here, I don't think, because I wanted to show you it on a dark colour, but I'll show you it on a navy blue, the shimmer powder, and then I will also show you this on a strip of double-sided tape, just to show you the how it looks using it like that as well. So let's do this one first. I'm going to make a mess with the glitter, but that's alright. So it's the Strawberry Sorbet glitter. It's a really lovely colour. I'm not really sure how to explain it, but it is really lovely. And if you press really hard with this glitter, you can get it to lay flat in your adhesive. See there? That looks lumpy. That is actually all stuck, but it's lumpy. Oh, you can't really tell. Oh, can you really tell? Maybe it's just the way I'm looking at it. But this is much more flat and that's more lumpy. But if you press harder, you can get most of it to lay flat and really burnish into the adhesive. It doesn't even look like glitter when you do that, actually. I'm making a right mess here, but anyway, it shows you what the real colour looks like. Really pretty. You can see what I mean. It's not super duper like proper shining all over the place. It almost looks glossy like that. But you know, like some red glitters are really in your face glittery, but this is more of a subtle glitter, which I really like. Now I've got to try and clean up the mess. This is where the carpet ends up covered in glitter. Okay, I've dusted the excess off that now. You can see it looks really pretty. Get any closer? So you can see how I've burnished it in, so you really get that gorgeous glossy look, really, isn't it? So it's not too shiny. That's why I really like that one. It's really interesting. Okay, then I was going to show you two different things with the shimmer powder. So we're going to do a little bit of water on there and then spray this with water and just see. Oh wow, that does look more evident on a darker colour. You can't see the colours as much. That's nice, actually. So you just get the silver mica. If you're using it on a dark colour, you're just getting that silver mica. And then I want to mix a little bit into some water and make a paint with it and see what that looks like as well. Because I didn't do that with it. So see, if you've mixed it all together, you do get a silver tone. You get a really nice light sort of silver tone. So if you're using it on dark card, you get silver mica because the dye colours that are in there aren't showing. And if you mix it all together and then paint with it, you're going to get the proper silver tone. But if, where did I put them? I put them up on the floor. But if you just sprinkle it straight onto the card and onto white card, you see all the separate little colours that are in it, which I really like, because I suppose all the primary colours do kind of make a grey colour together, depending on the proportions, but so that's why it's got so many different colours in it. But that's really interesting. So you can get this kind of cool marble look. You can just get a solid silver look by mixing it all together and painting with it, or you can just get the silver look by adding it to a darker colour of card where the dye doesn't show. That's really interesting. Okay, I'm glad I did that. That's good to know. Okay, where am I going to put this to dry now? I've got stuff everywhere. Okay, everything's just balancing. Okay, I will just tidy up and then I'll come back and show you all the card stock as well. Okay, so with all of the 2019 colour trends from Tonic, we're getting 8 packets of CRaFTi card, and you also get a 6x6 patterned paper pad. I am missing the patterned paper pad, but it looks like it has some really gorgeous patterns in it, and again it's the red turquoise and a grey silver kind of colour tone, and I'm also missing the smooth mint gloss mirror card as well, so there will also be that coming out in the collection too. But let's go through these ones that we'll be able to see in person. So we have 2 of the classic cards, and with them you get 10 sheets in the packet because they're just a regular classic card, and they have the gorgeous linen texture on one side of them, and then they're more smooth on the other side. So this one is called Spearmint Green, which is a really pretty colour, and this one is called Candy Red, which again has got that texture on one side and then the more flat texture on the other side. It doesn't really feel textured. You can still see a bit of that linen, but it is much smoother on this side. So that's Candy Red, and again there's 10 sheets in both of them because they're just the classic card that CRaFTi do, and you always get 10 sheets in them. Then we have, this is gorgeous, this one. So in the past there has been cinnamon silk, silver silk, and I presume the other one was called gold silk, but obviously that was a silver, a gold and a kind of coppery colour that had this gorgeous design on them. It's like stripy sort of grooves on it. But this one, the newest one, is called Crimson Silk, and it is really lovely. I really like this one. And it goes perfectly with the Mica Mist spray, which is the Crimson Velvet. So you've got Crimson Silk card and Crimson Velvet mica spray. They do work gorgeously together. I really love that texture on it too. It's really, really pretty. It's really subtle, and also when you die cut, out of any of Tonic's speciality cardstocks, even these really textured ones, even if you die cut them, you still get the texture, which is just amazing. And I'll show you that on some of my cards as well. So that is the Crimson Silk. Then we get a gorgeous glitter card as well. This one is called Turquoise Lake. Oh, and again, with all of the speciality cardstocks or cotton papers, you only get 5 sheets in a packet because obviously they're a more expensive cardstock and everything. But look at the gorgeous glitter on this one. And this actually works perfectly with the Esmeralda green Nuvo Glimmer Paste too. Look, you can see there's hardly any difference in the colour, and on a couple of the cards, or actually on one card where I've used this, I also use the glitter card too, and you can hardly tell a difference between them. So if you're into being messy, you've got the Glimmer Paste, but if you don't want to be messy, you've got the cardstock. So you can really pick and choose what kind of things you want to use your products for. So that is the gorgeous glitter card. Then we have a foiled craft card. You might have seen, I'm sure I did a up-close video on it, the foiled craft card that Tonic brought out. There was 8 different packets. You had 2 that were gold on black, 2 that were silver on a grey craft card, 2 that were rose coppery colour on white, and 2 that were gold on an actual brown craft card. We've now got another one that is silver on a grey craft card, and the previous 2 silver on greys were a damask pattern, which was really beautiful, and a silver stripe, but it only had one width of stripes. This one has multiple strips, so it kind of looks like candy cane, you know, that kind of candy cane sort of stripe. It's actually called Silver Strokes. But it's really, really pretty. I've used this on one of my cards just as a matte behind the main panel that I'd done, but it's really gorgeous. And with the craft card, obviously when you're using the grey craft card, it's not going to show the true colour, but you can ink over this so that the silver pops out, and you could ink over with, I mean, like the new ink pad colours, you could ink over with the red. It would give a deeper red, but that would go with the other deeper reds in the collection. Or, bringing that in, you can spray over it with your Mica Mists and then wipe off the excess from the foil and leave it to dry, but you can actually spray over it with your Mica Mists as well. Then we finally have 2 of their speciality cotton papers. This one we've actually seen a similar version of this before, but the previous versions have been on white, but this one is on black, and it's this gorgeous sort of confetti circle look. This one's called Ruby Gemstone, but it's got a metallic finish over the top of it. Usually the old one that's red is white on the back and it has a pearlescent finish, but this one is black and then has a metallic finish. So you can always use the red side, or if you didn't want to use the red side, you could bring out your mousses and use the black side. So if I bring out that Honeydew one, this should look really different having this lighter colour on top of a black, but you can really change it using the back of it. You can really change the look of it. I mean, that almost looks like some kind of pebbly pattern now, but you see, just using that lighter colour over the top really gives it a different look compared to the bright red. So you've got sort of 2 options with this one, which I really like. And then we have this one, which is really pretty. It's got like cool chevrons all the way across it. It's almost an optical illusion. because it's chevrons, but then if you look at it in other ways it kind of looks like little arrows pointing up and down. But this one is called Geometric Galaxy, and it's really pretty, really gorgeous colours. It's that sort of green, but it's got that goldy bluey kind of a hue on top of it, and obviously that goes perfectly with this mica mist as well, which is the Beryl Swirl. So that is everything from the Merry and Bright colour trend from Tonic, and this is coming out in July, so obviously this video will probably go up the beginning of July sometime. And also I'm now doing a blog post with these kind of videos, so if you look in the description below the video there will be a link to my blog post, and if you click on that it will give you picture links to all of the different things in the colour trend. So I try to list them in word form underneath the video as well, but I'm now doing the picture links too, so if you couldn't remember the name of, say, the red embossing powder, if you clicked on my blog link you'd easily be able to see a pot of red embossing powder, and then you could click on that and find it that way. So I'd be doing that as well. But now let's show you the samples that I've done. I've tried to use everything that is in the colour trend. I might not have used every type of card. No, I think I have actually. I think I've used every type of card as well. So that's actually quite an achievement. On 5 cards I've actually used every single thing from the collection. But anyway, let's go with this one first. This was the one I was saying that I've used all of the different Nuvo drops on. So you might have seen my technique video for the Nuvo Dream Drops, where I did a technique where I put drops of the crystal drops on, and then took another piece of card, went like this, and then pulled it off, and you got this cool splodgy pattern. So this is the, what's it called again? Silver crystals. If I can try and get you up close, that little bit there is the silver crystals. If you have the White Blizzard, you'll know that that looks really different to it, because it's obviously got that actual silver in it as well. Those bits that are looking dark, that is actually silver, it's just reflecting my black camera, but it's really pretty. Then that darker red next to it is the Blushing Red Gloss Drop, which is a really gorgeous colour. And then the glitter next to it, you can see what I mean, how it's in a more of a clear suspension. I think maybe it's slightly tinted with a red colour, but that is the Red Sunstone, and you can see it's got gorgeous red glitters in it with a bit of that same of the silver as well, which is really pretty. And then finally we have the one that was just underneath there. That is the jewel drop. Because it's so thin, it's sort of not showing as deep a colour as it is, but that is the Aqua Plains jewel drop. And then also on these 2 die cuts on this one, that is the 2 textured cards that you get in the Merry and Bright colour trend. And on the turquoise one, I have I just put a few drops on of both of these 2 drops, and then smudged it around with my fingers to give it a glossy, glittery look. And then the same with the red one, but using the 2 red colours of drops, just to give something a little bit extra to it. And then I've used a little bit of that what was it called, Geometric Galaxy, something like that, of that card on there as well. And then I've added a little string too, so that's showing off the drops. Then this one is showing you that sort of sparse background with the shimmer powder. What's it called again? Lunar Rocket shimmer powder, and I also splashed in some of that Crimson Velvet mica mist as well into the background, because I'd used this the Crimson Silk card on it, so I wanted something to sort of bring that into the background a little bit too. Then this is the Glimmer Paste. So as I showed before, you spread it out thinly onto, this is the mat that comes with the Tim Holtz Media mat, the glass mat, or you can get the one that rolls up into a tube as well. It's called their Easy Clean mat, the Tonic Easy Clean mat. You just scrape it onto there, leave it to dry, and then, because it's glue, it just peels off, and then you can die cut this. So that's how I did this one. I die cut a heart into it, and I have the spare heart here, so you can see how well it die cuts. And then obviously I just laid a little bit of white card behind just to give it a drop shadow, and then I cut the crimson silk out as well. And then for the get well sentiment, I shadowed it with that glitter card, and you can see the glitter from the glitter card is almost identical to the glitter from the Glimmer Paste, so they work perfectly together. Then for the Nuvo drops, that is the Silver Crystal Nuvo drops, which go really nicely on a white background because they're sort of subtle. They're just subtly there in the background, and I've also added on some of those Mermaid Parade stars as well. And then finally I added it onto a layer of that stripy silver, or silver stroke foiled craft card as well, because it's really, really pretty. Then this one is showing you one of the mousse colours. I did actually use both of the mousses, but this one I used more in an actual mousse sort of a way. So this one is the Fusion Red, yeah, Fusion Red, and then I scraped it through a stencil, and you can see in there, that's got the Phoenix Fire, is it called Phoenix Fire? No, just Fiery Phoenix circles, and that Strawberry Sorbet glitter as well. I sprinkled both of them in whilst it was still wet, and that looks really pretty. And then I've used a mixture of the cardstocks to cut out a Christmas sentiment and some little snowflakes. And then in the background, that's actually the Beryl Swirl Mica Mist sprayed in the background to give that sort of subtle background colour that goes with the greeny tones. And in the centre of the snowflakes, I've used the all the new Nuvo drops. The only one I didn't use was the glittery silver one, which is the silver crystals. I used all of the other three, and then yeah, that's just sort of layering up, making a Christmas card. So that's showing you those. Oh yeah, so I did 3 Christmas cards in the end, and I did a couple of just everyday cards as well. But it just goes to show you don't have to use that colour scheme for Christmas. You know, I know it's marketed as Christmas, but don't think you have to just use it for Christmas. Then, this one is one of my favourite little cards. So these are the new Christmas gift boxes. They're called Winter Wonderland, the large one, the small one, and then a Christmas tree decoration. And these are some of the little side panels, and I just cut them out and then paper piece them with a few of the new cardstocks from the Merry and Bright collection. For the background, I used the alcohol pens. Then I also used some of the Beryl Swirl Mica Mist, and I also used some of the Honeydew Nuvo mousse as well, and watered it down and painted in the background with that too to give the stripy look. Then I also made myself a foam stamp using one of the dies that are in the Christmas wreath die sets. It's like a Christmas rose, and then I stamped it with the Honeydew mousse, and I also squeezed a little bit of the Turquoise Aqua Flow onto the mousse, mixed it up, and then stamped this colour as well. So you can easily change your mousse colours by using your Aqua Flows too. And then I finished it off with a scattering of the gorgeous, what are they called again? Tropical Oasis Sequins, and used the little stars on the top of the Christmas trees, and then added some of the Silver Crystals Nuvo drops as well. Still trying to remember all the names. But yeah, I really liked how that one turned out. Really pretty. And then the final card that I did was a little thank you card, just showing the Aqua Flows and the embossing powder. So this is the Sportscar Red embossing powder, and this is one of the stamps from the Sloth stamp set from the Tonic Adorables. I think it's called Sammy the Sloth. And that's the red embossing powder for that leaf. Then to colour the leaves, I used the tomato juice and, what's the other one? Grenadine Red Aqua Flows with a little bit of the Crimson Velvet Mica Mist to give that little bit of mica in the leaves. And then for the background, I used the Empress Teal of the Aqua Flows, and I watered it down a little bit to give sort of blurry edges, and I splashed in some of the Beryl Swirl Mica Mist in the background on that one as well. And then for the flowers, again I coloured them with the same colours I'd used in the background. For for the centres of the flowers, I added a Nuvo drop and then sprinkled in some of the corresponding colour of Confetti. And behind all the little flowers, I actually die cut the same flowers from some of the specialty card, and you can see you still get that texture even though you've die cut them. So that circly texture is still on that one, and if I can lift a leaf up, you can still see that chevron texture behind this one too. So even if you die cut them, you can still see that pattern within them as well. And then I just finished off with that silver crystals. I wondered why my bottle was so low. I think I've used it on almost every single card. But yeah, the silver crystals Nuvo drops, but they go perfectly with everything because you can see they just pick up whatever's underneath them, which is really nice. So that is all of the samples and everything that's coming out in the Merry and Bright collection. And again, that's coming out in July, so this video should be up sometime in July as well. But I just wanted to show you everything whilst I had all my samples here, and wanted to show you that you can do cool Christmas cards with this colour scheme, but you don't have to. You can, I think it looks like quite nice and tropical, or you could even make this a tropical Christmas card for like someone in Australia because it's hotter over there at Christmas time and all that. So yeah, I hope I've showed everything and you've enjoyed seeing it all, and thank you for watching. And I did actually, I think I filmed them all. I think I filmed all of these, so eventually there will be all of these videos up at some point too. And I also filmed another separate video of me making all the backgrounds as well. So there'll be another video that will be called something like making backgrounds with the Merry and Bright colour trend or something. Yeah, so I hope you'll enjoy that as well. And don't forget to check out my blog post if you want to see the picture links, because it's much easier for you to find what you're looking for, especially when there's such a long list of all the different things that I've shown you as well. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!